Hi everyone, I'm Madison. Thank you for clicking on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through the 8 books that I read in July and also talking about my August TBR. So with that being said, let's get started. The first book that I read was Rouge by Mona Awad. I gave this book 2 stars. I really don't even know what happened in this book. It was very weird. This is also my first Mona Awad book, and I know that she has like a very descriptive, interesting way of telling a story. The point of the book was to kind of touch on the like outrageous beauty standards that are here today, but I don't know if it really did a great job at touching about it. Like, I know this because of other Goodreads reviews that I ended up reading. So I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I wouldn't recommend it because it was confusing and it just was a very odd story. Like, it left me feeling just like, what the fuck? So, do with that information what you will. The next book that I read was Reckless by Lauren Roberts. If you watch my reading vlog, you see me reading this book. I originally gave it 5 stars because heat of the moment vibes. I enjoyed it. Were there flaws in it? Absolutely. But now that I've gotten to like sit back and like get over like the excitement of reading this book because I've been anticipating it, I settled on a 4 star. It could be lower, but I still enjoyed the book at the end of the day. I understand exactly why people are giving it an even lower rating, but this series for me is going to hopefully be a 5-star series. And I just enjoyed getting to see these characters again. Did anything happen in the plot? No. Nothing happened. We repeated the same thing like every day in this book. Nothing happened. It, like a lot of people have said, Rachel Catherine explained it as well. It's called a bridging book. That's what a lot of people are saying it is. I don't know if that's what Lauren Roberts has called it, but a lot of people are saying it's a bridging book. There are so many fantasy series that the second book can stand on its own and is people's favorite book. So that doesn't make sense. Like, if other authors can make a good book and have it stand on its own as a good book, so could you. You don't need a bridging book. Like, stuff could have happened in this book, is what I'm saying. Not to say that I didn't enjoy it, but it had room for improvement. I'm still very excited to get to the last book in this series. So after Reckless, I got really excited in the fantasy world, and I picked up One Dark Window and then Two Twisted Crowns afterwards. So for One Dark Window, I love these so much. Like, this duet, it's so freaking good. The magic system is tarot cards, which is awesome and so cool. And the explanation for it that the author just gives is so good. This is about a girl that lives in a town where there is the spirit of the wood. The spirit of the wood has magic and grants people magic when they come to it asking for something. But it's such a good story, and you get really attached to the characters, especially in Two Twisted Crowns. I was very shocked at how much I was enjoying reading this. Like, I read both of these, I believe, in 2 days. I gave this one 4 stars. The pacing was just a little slow in this one, but it wasn't that slow, you know? It was enjoyable. So, Twisted Crowns, I ended up giving it 5 stars. There were new developments in it, of course, and how the first one ended, you really wanted to pick this one up immediately. And I loved the alternating POVs in this one. The first one was from the main character's point of view only. This one switches between 3 different points of view, and it's so good. It enhances the story so much with a character that you didn't even know that you needed in it. It was so enjoyable. I binged it like late at night, and I'm just like sobbing at the end of the book because I was so attached to the characters and I didn't want them to go away. It was so good. So after finishing the One Dark Window duology, I needed to pick up something that wasn't fantasy. So I decided to pick up my first horror, and this is the Southern Book Club's guide. This is the Southern Book Club's guide to slaying vampires. It's the longest title, and now I'm struggling to say it. I enjoyed this book. I give it 4 stars. I have not read other horrors, so the rating could change if I read more and kind of get an understanding of what is good horror and what is not good horror. But I enjoyed it. I liked the way that it was written, and yeah, I don't know. It was just enjoyable. I got the recommendation from Heather McClary here on YouTube and on Bookstagram and Book Talk. She's so funny, and I just love how passionate she is about books, and when she enjoys a book, I'm like, I think I need to read that. So that's why I picked this one up, and this is also in a reading vlog of me mood reading. So after that book, I picked up Leather and Lark by Brynne Weaver. This is the second book in the Ruinous Love trilogy. I loved Butcher and Blackbird, and I also loved this book. I gave this book, I want to say 4 stars, but it could have been 3.75. Let me check. 3.75 stars is what I settled on. I decided that I still enjoyed Butcher and Blackbird more than this one. I had physically read that one while I listened to this one. I will admit, listen to these on audiobook. They're so enjoyable on audiobook. I would totally go back and listen to Butcher and Blackbird because I didn't. I feel like it would be really good. It's just the storyline, I think, was a little bit more interesting in that one. This one, very much not gruesome, like at all. And there was like no murder in it, which like take that as you want, but for this series I kind of wanted it a little bit because there was a lot of it in Butcher and Blackbird, so I was kind of shocked. But I still enjoy the story, like the story in general, and the marriage of convenience in this. I think I like it. I think I like Marriage of Convenience. I didn't know I did. Now I do. I enjoyed it. These aren't spoilers. These are in the back, just so you know. But 3.75 stars. I would definitely recommend this, and I would more so recommend you listening to it on audiobook because that experience is really enjoyable. I do think that there would be like lulls in the story where you kind of get a little bored, but with audiobooks, you know, they just play faster. So the book that I read was a novel of story by Ashley Poston. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I loved it. It was so cute. So good. It is about a girl that pretty much stumbles into her favorite book series and is trying to help it out because it's stuck in time because the author had passed away, and where she stopped writing is where their lives are stuck at. So there's that. There's a little romance in there. It's so cute. I just enjoyed it. The last book that I read this month is Second Chance. That is The Summer Will Be Different. I am a second chance romance girly. It is probably my favorite subgenre of romance. Like subgenre, right? Because it's a trope also, but like it formats the story. I don't know. I love second chance romance so much. So I was eating this book up. I really enjoyed this. I was shocked because I read Mimi at the Lake and hated it. This one, on the other hand, it was so good. I love it. I loved it so much. It's about a girl that lives in Toronto, Canada, and her best friend that she meets is from PEI, which is Prince Edward Island in Canada, which is in another province, I believe. I'm from Ohio. I don't know Canada. I've never been there, but I'm trying to be educated from this. But she goes and she visits, and she meets this guy named Felix, and they have a one-night stand type of situation, and she finds out that it's her best friend's brother. So they ban each other from like doing it again, but they still have feelings for each other. And then the best friend is getting married, and stuff starts happening. That's all I'm gonna say. The vibes are so good in this book. Again, second chance romance. If you like it, you're gonna like this one. It's so good. These are the 8 books that I read in July. I read a lot more than I thought I was going to, but very, very good reading month. Moving on to the books that I want to read in August this year, I do have 7 books. One of them I don't have with me. I'm going to be reading it on my Kindle. So the first book that I want to read this year is the book that I have on my Kindle, and that is When the Moon Hatched. I am pumped for that book. My friend and I are buddy reading that for our mini book club. It's just the 2 of us this month. And I'm so excited. I've seen people talking about how good it is, and just like the premise of the story / like the world building. I'm most excited about the world building for this. I can't wait to find out everything. I'm hoping that I enjoy reading it, but my friend is starting the audiobook because she couldn't get into it, and she said the audiobook's really good. So that's good to know. That's good information if I don't feel like physically reading it, because that is a tome. It's like 700 pages, I think. And I am working this, like, I started my new job, and I'm working first shift right now. I will be switching over to second shift after I am done with my training. And I get up at 5 in the morning, and I go to bed by like 8 o'clock. So I'm not really getting a lot of reading done during the week. I just have the weekends to read, so we'll see how I read that one. The next book that I have is Bride by Hazelwood. I am pumped to read this book. This was another Heather McLary recommendation. This is one of her 5-star reads, and I need to know. I have seen very, very different reviews of the book. I've seen some people give it like a 2 stars, and then I have had some people say that like this is one of their like 5-star reads. So I'm very interested. I don't really know what the book is about besides a vampire and a werewolf, and I know that there's something called the knot. I'm probably gonna be traumatized by knowing what that is. I could probably go my whole life without needing to know what it is, but I'm too curious. Curiosity killed the cat. That is me. If people like it, I need to know. I just have like morbid curiosity over things. Like, I saw this TikTok, this is a tangent. I saw this TikTok that was talking about like extreme horror. I think it's called steampunk or something in it. A horror? I don't know. Extreme horror. And it is like, these books were like recommended like yes, no, maybe, and all of them I'm just like so morbidly curious to want to pick them up because I want to know, but I also don't think I can stomach some of the topics that were in it. So I don't know, but my morbid curiosity is getting the best of me, and I want to read this. The next book that I have on my TBR is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. This is the last book in her backlist that I have not read. I'm excited. I think I'm going to enjoy it. The fact that the main character is Florence, but I think the male main character is Benji, and he's been featured in both The 7-Year Slip and A Novel Love Story. I'm excited. I want to read it so bad, and I think August is a great time to pick this book up. So hopefully soon. Hopefully I will get to it this month. I love her writing so much. It's just such an enjoyable experience. The next book that I have is actually going to be 3. It is a series, and that is the Caraval trilogy. I loved Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have talked about that in several videos, and I want to get back in the world. And I think August would be a great time to get back into the world of Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I know Jax is featured in it. I know that I should have technically read these first. I did start Caraval and then I stopped it. I wish I hadn't, but I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time. Whatever. I really want to read this series. I adore these covers as well. I've said all this before, so hopefully I will get to these this month. I have noticed that when I put a series or like or interconnected standalones, I don't read them, but we'll see. Last book that I have, I do not plan to finish by the end of August, and that is Skeleton Crew by Stephen King. I just think I want to start reading it this month. It is a compilation of 12 short stories by Stephen King. So I would like to start it as like a palate cleanser type of situation, but I have no intentions to actually finish this book this month. So yeah, those are all of the books that I read in July and I have on my August TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.